Just showing you a few hidden oiling and greasing points on a sewing machine. For example, this is sort of a cam stack, has an oily hole at the top because the gear underneath has a shaft and the shaft must be lubricated. But in addition to oil, you also need to reach for the gear, maybe use a wire like this and put some grease on the gear itself and rotate the hand well to expose the gear all around, and the grease from the gear that you can reach will spread on the corresponding gears. Obviously there are always two gears together. Give you another idea, this one also is an oiling hole, and yet again you have another gear underneath, and that gear there, it has a corresponding gear, but usually you may only be able to reach one of the two gears, so be sure to also spread grease on one of the two gears all around. Again, turn the hand well on top of the oiling it, so make sure you add two, oil and grease. Now you see when I turn the hand well, we have this there's kind of rods that just drop in there and just transmit the movement at the bottom of the machine, and you can tell that there is sort of a connecting part that has an oiling hole to it, so you need to really put oil on that thing. And at least on this machine I need to put the handwheel at a certain position to see this hole at the top. At some other position of the handwheel, that hole here will just be not visible at all. And when you see this thing here, oftentimes one of the sides will also have a cam. So let me just try to film this. It's a very very deep in there. So what you see, this silver surface here, let's just spin the hand well. That silver surface, it's a cam that needs grease on it. You may maybe try to put oil on it, but I will really recommend you put grease on it, so it's really underneath there, deep in there. What you can see, perhaps just part of it, it's shiny and it's smooth surface. It's a surface that has been machined, and definitely need to put grease on it. Don't skip this area here. Obviously at the head you have several oiling holes, depends how you position the hand well, and notice that those holes, I can tell you there are at least three here, 1, 2, 3 and more down there. On this part also it's a balancer, you also may have lubricating holes. But what's interesting is that these holes are not shown, are not visible unless you put the hand well in a certain position. So that's why my suggestion is rotate the hand well, look deep in there. And the second part is, don't just look from above straight downwards. You will not see many lubricating points. Always try to look from the sides, just like I show you those gears. Those are not visible if you look just from above. Look from the sides, get a flashlight, and maybe get one of those dentist mirrors. Just look on eBay or AliExpress dentist mirror, and you will be able to see more of these lubricating points. So again, I was saying here there are several lubricating points, and it's important. Obviously we need to lubricate the needle bar, but also you see this mechanism for the zigzag has two pivots, and I can tell you I'm not going to be able to reach, but this is the upper pivot. At the bottom pivot you have another lubricating hole, and obviously you may need to put the machine on one side to have the oil dropping inside those holes. Of course, don't forget the lubrication hole for the main shaft. These are the brackets that support the long shaft. You have at least two of these holes. Put several droplets of oil, not just one or two, maybe 3, 4, 5 droplets, and keep spinning the hand well while lubricating these holes. These are really the most important lubricating points in your entire machine. Let's just try to flip the machine on one side. Underneath here, if I will turn the hand well, so look at this area, you will see actually two lubricating holes will appear, which were obviously very nicely hidden. So this one is a very important lubricating hole. If you look here, and just try to, obviously the machines is going to be different, but I'm just trying to give you a hint how to look for these things. This is just like hidden treasures. This yet another lubricating hole. You can tell that the wire drops deep in there. And also those transfer shafts, let's just call them like this, perhaps not the right name, but just look here at this component. I'm going to move the hand well and look from the sides. If you look from above, you will not see anything, but if you look from the sides, this is a very interesting piece. You see how it moves? So these are surfaces, basically you can call them, count them, 4 of them that need grease. So you need to put grease on both sides and on the opposite sides as well for this part to slide easily. And again, these are parts that rotate at high speed, really need lubrication. You can put on the square as well some grease, but really need lubrication with grease, and should definitely not be ignored. Obviously you will see a lot of lubricating points here. Look around. I do recommend look closely at the shaft. You may find a hole into the shaft for the shuttle. It's a good idea to put a small droplet of oil where the shuttle is riding. But let me just give you another hint here, because I was talking about literally hidden lubricating holes. So the shuttle on this unit, it's not like this on every machine, but on this unit the shuttle actually moves left right with the zigzag, and when it moves, this shaft here, if you look at this moment, it looks like there's nothing in there. Let's just spin it. I'm going to go the other way, because yes, that's a lubricating hole, and you can actually even see the shaft inside. So you see the shaft inside the hole moving, the metal part. That tells you that's definitely a lubricating hole, which is completely hidden, depends on the position of the hand well. So all this to say that I'm just showing you one specific machine, but you really need to look very carefully if you want to have this machines working properly. And like I was showing in another video, these are just, let's call them official lubricating holes. But my advice on old vintage machine, I would definitely add a droplet of oil every place where you see a shaft entering a bracket. So every pivot, every point that has rotation to it, this is a lubricating point. It needs a droplet of oil, and there are many of these points. So you need to kind of take your time, take a few hours maybe. Also, perhaps it's a good idea not to try to finish the job within one day. Maybe do it one day, then the next day look again, because when you look the same problem at a different time, you may find new things basically. So again, this is one of the ideas. And the other idea, again, rotate the hand well and do not look just straight downwards like this. Look from the sides and look really bit by bit, and you may discover new things. And what this will do, if you lubricate the machine the right way, especially considering these are really old machines, so the lubricant has dried up, so it's no longer really working. If you really lubricate all the joints, all those points, and grease as well the right places, it will just speed up the machine and maybe even reduce vibrations, or if there are any vibrations. So it will just get the machine to work as it was expected to be working when it was maybe in a new condition, more or less new condition. Of course, there's going to be wear this time. And don't forget this winding mechanism. Also, usually you will find a small hole to it. Okay, thanks for watching.